Welcome to all my travelers out there. I am your host, Darren Beckett, and this is the Global Travel Podcast. For those who do not know my travel resume, I've been to 13 states, 15 countries on 5 different continents, but it is not about me. Here, we are giving you quality travel tips, insights, and recommendations on all the best destinations for ideas to enjoy your vacations. With that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. We are all clear for takeoff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we reach our destination, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, click the bell, and if you could do me a favor, if you could type in the comment section below and type in the words, "I got my ticket," and at the end of the show, I'm going to come back, I'm going to respond and see how your experience went with us, okay? So, on today's episode, we are taking a trip to Brazil. So make sure you got your passports, your earphones, and something to snack on. We have a very special guest here with us today, but before I introduce her, let me just say this. Now, this young lady we met at San Diego State University. She's a traveler, just became a flight attendant, so she's well traveled. She's been to a dozen states and 10 countries. And Brazil is, if it's on your list, you definitely want to pay attention and take some notes. Without further ado, let me introduce you to Miss Jade Pate Steele. What's going on with you, my sister?
Like, hello. How are you today? Good.
Good,
So we
good,
wanted to,
good. What's going on? So, uh, go ahead.
I think you want to just jump into it. I could talk about.
Yeah. So basically, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are. Like, what are your hobbies? Where you from? Where you live? All that good stuff.
Okay. So hey, I'm Jade Pate Steele. I'm 26. I've been a flight attendant for about 2 years now. So been traveling around since then, but kind of before that, that's kind of why I got into being a flight attendant because I was already traveling around, and I'm like, how can I get paid to travel? Hence the
Mm-hmm.
job. So that's kind of how I got
Mm-hmm.
into it. Um, and I've loved it ever since. I like the lifestyle that it provides. I get to travel very, I would say cheaply. Like, so I was like, I love it. Hobbies, obviously travel, but I do enjoy like beach days. I was like, I am big on fitness. I like to run around, be active kind of lifestyle. So that's just a little bit about me.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, I even thought about being a flight attendant before, or a pilot, or even a baggage agent. But yeah, that's that. They get a lot of pros and a lot of benefits with that. So for those folks who are interested in being a flight attendant, what are some of the pros, and also what are some of the cons as well?
So some of the pros are definitely like the travel benefits that you get. And I get to travel because most of the states that I've been to have been with work. And so with work, we normally will get to like overnight someplace. And like it's a lot of places that I normally wouldn't have gone on my own. And so I get to explore these new towns and things.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, like I have some favorite cities that I never thought that I would like in like a million years. I would have never gone there on my own. But some of the cons are
Right,
that
right, right.
um I consider myself a nomad. Like it's hard to have a home base because I'm not home often. Because if I'm flying and I'm
Mm-hmm.
elsewhere about 4 days out of the week, like when I do come home, like it's mainly just to switch out the things in my suitcase. So like if you do have like if you do have a family or you have children, it is a little bit difficult to kind of navigate that and balance that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, are there any things that as being a flight attendant that are more so on the con side?
Um, I was like, just like I said, mainly the not being able to be at home, and my schedule fluctuates. So how most people work like that 9 to 5, I'm off by 5. I can plan my life like this. I'm off on the weekends. Like
Mm-hmm,
I don't have that
mm-hmm,
same kind of structure. So it makes it a little
mm-hmm.
more difficult for me when I am trying to plan things with other people. Like, my off day is Wednesday. Like, are you like, can we hang out then?
Yeah, right, right, right. Yeah, that's
So
definitely different. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad hook a brother up with a flight. Oh man. Hey, like I said, I see. I know you get that a lot. I know you get that a lot. Oh, you a
And
flight attendant? Hook a sister up with a flight. Hook a brother up with a flight. I know you do. I know you do. That's
all
what's
the
up though.
time.
But I bet. I bet. Let's go ahead and start. What state? Before we head off internationally, before we get to Brazil, what state do you recommend folks to go to?
Um, I would say because I live currently in LA, in
Mm-hmm.
California. I used to live in New York. New York is a beautiful place. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people have heard about that already. But
Mm-hmm.
I would say like New Orleans is one of my favorite places to go. Everybody is
Mm-hmm.
super friendly there. The food,
Yep.
fire. Um, and there's always something to do for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So I love
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans, but a smaller city, I actually really like Milwaukee, and that's in Wisconsin.
Mm. Tell us about
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee. What's your folks doing, man? That's different. What's your folks do here?
Because and mind you, I was forced to go to Milwaukee with work. That's just like where our
Right.
overnights were. Because Milwaukee is not some
Right.
place that I was ever like, oh yeah, let me go visit Wisconsin, Miss Milwaukee, let's do it. Like no,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
having been there a few times, and we normally stay in the downtown area, there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot to do. There's a lot of like cool little bars. There's cool little eateries. If you're into cheese, they have the best cheese curds. Obviously, is what that's what Wisconsin is known for.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a little speakeasy that we would always go to, and it
Mm-hmm.
has like you have to know the password, otherwise they like make you do a dance or something. Like, and it's spy themed, so it's like super fun. It's super fun.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, and it's
So what a cheese curd? I don't know what a cheese curd is. For all those folks who don't know what a cheese curd is, explain what that is.
it's like a fried ball of cheese, or like a small. It's almost like a tater tot, but instead of it being potato, it's cheese, and it's deep fried. Normally, it's
Mm,
mozzarella, but it alternates. It varies depending on
mm-hmm,
where you go. But yeah, it's like a mini
mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm.
mozzarella stick, I would say, but better.
Right. Right. But okay, okay, cool. Now, far as Milwaukee, far as the scenery, is it like a nature type vibe? Is it a city vibe? What's the culture like there?
Yeah, I was it's more of a city vibe. Definitely more of a city vibe, but they do
Mm-hmm.
have there's like the lake that runs through downtown. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm don't ask me which lake, because my geography. I'm gonna have to Google that.
Google, yep.
But there's like a lake that runs downtown, so there's a bunch of bridges, and you can do like some water activities for sure when it's warm out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely more city type. It's not rural. It's not like suburby. It's very like there are towers, there are businesses. Like you can walk around at nighttime. It's safe, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a cool
Okay.
vibe, cool scenery.
R-
Um,
Right,
I like I
right.
said, I was like, that's one of the smaller towns that I didn't think I would like, but it ends up being one of my favorite places to go.
Yeah, what's the nightlife like over there?
And that's just, they do have some very different types of nightlife depending on what you're into. So like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like I said, I've been to the speakeasy where when we're keeping it low key, just like trying to have a few drinks and stuff like that. But they do have a few like clubs that play. There was one that was like neo soul. There was one that was like more hip hop. Then we walked past another one that was more country. So it's like they have a very wide variety down there. So it kind of depends on what you're
Mm-hmm.
into. You can find it there.
Mm-hmm. Right, right, right. I like that. I like that. So, I know since you're a flight attendant, you're traveling during the COVID time. So, tell us what it's like to travel during these times. What should people expect that haven't been on a flight just yet?
Um, wear your mask. Wear your mask.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. I've heard.
it also depends on what airline you're flying with. what the
Mm-hmm.
expectation is going to be, because I know when I fly for Delta in particular, they have a cap. So they cap it at 60% capacity. That way they can we can separate you guys. Like most people, you'll have your own row unless you're traveling with somebody, like to keep everybody
Mm-hmm.
safe. I know Southwest is leaving the middle seat open. That way you're not sitting directly next to somebody. Then you have United is not really capping anymore. They're just like, yeah, like if you're trying to come, come. But like I said, everybody is wearing a mask, and everybody, before you even get on the plane, we have cleaners that come in and wipe all of the surfaces down. They use it's an electrostatic sprayer. So for all the surfaces that they are not wiping personally, still get like sprayed down. So it's
Mm-hmm.
actually a very safe time to fly for people. If they were being a
Cool.
little skeptical about that, the plane is much cleaner than it was before.
Right, right. That should make some people feel a little safer, because I know a lot of folks are a little hesitant and have a reason to be, but at the same time, I think you still have to live life. Your time is gonna come one way or another, so just might as well live life.
Exactly.
Um, that's what's up. That's what's up. So definitely wear your mask. And speaking on the mask, is there a particular type of mask that you need to wear, or is just any mask okay?
For us at the airline, any mask is okay as long as it covers your nose and mouth, and you're
Okay.
good.
Okay. Good. 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 Y'all hear that? Make sure you bring your mask. Don't forget your mask, or that's your ass. So
Nah, for
let's go
real.
ahead. Let's go ahead. So Milwaukee was cool. If y'all want to go to Milwaukee, man, they got a cool little nightlife. Some for everyone, whether it's neo soul, country, whatever it is that you like, go, definitely hit up there. And then also cheese curds. If you never heard of cheese curds, it's some type of deep fried, mozzarella cheese or what have you. It's definitely different. Try it out once you're there. And then let's go ahead. What other state you want to take? You the pilot, I'm co-pilot. And where you taking us?
I mean, have you heard a lot about Nashville? Because
We could talk about
yeah,
Nashville. Yeah, we could talk about Nashville. What's going on in Nashville? Yeah,
because
yeah, let's ride. Let's go.
Nashville is also a place that I frequent with the job, because, like I said, would I wouldn't have gone there otherwise. And me
Mm-hmm,
personally,
mm-hmm,
I'm not a big fan of country music, but going there, they
mm-hmm,
every single bar has live music. And it is normally country, but I
mm,
appreciate the live music, and it's always a good vibe. Everybody's dancing. Most of the bars there, because they have a whole street. It's a whole street just that's full of bars, and
mm-hmm.
there most of them are 2 stories. They all have rooftops, so it's like indoor outdoor type of
Mm.
situation. It's
Right,
I
right.
definitely recommend, like, if you're trying to look for like a cool kind of nightlife, that nightlife all like doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter what day of the week it is, it's always going up on that street.
Right, right. Right, right. What about the food? I know they known for barbecue. I don't know if it's just Memphis, but is Nashville also known for barbecue? Or what's this like out there with the
Nashville's
meals?
got some good barbecue spot. And if you go out there, I definitely recommend hitting up Hattie B's. It's the Nashville
Mm,
hot chicken.
okay. I think
Get you
we
some
heard of that
hot
before
chicken.
too. Hot chicken. I like that. I'm gonna have to try that out. This is not the first time we heard about that on this show. So it sounds like it's something a place to be. So cool.
Hmm.
Let's before we head to another state and get out internationally. Anything else in Nashville that you want to cover before we head on out?
I was like, no, that's it for the most. Like I said, everybody is super nice there.
Mhm.
And I know, like, in this political climate, being a little black girl walking around is not always the safest thing to do. But
Yeah, right,
I can say that I never felt unsafe there. Everybody was always very welcoming. It was a good
right,
atmosphere, very positive energy.
right, right. So, do you travel alone, or are you with your colleagues when you travel?
um, Most of the time I go out with colleagues, so
Okay.
because I don't like to travel alone too much.
Right,
Like,
right,
in some
right.
of these places I do, don't get me wrong, because like I personally am not a homebody. So when we have those long
Mm-hmm,
overnights, I don't like to just stay like in the hotel. I like to
mm-hmm,
excuse
mm-hmm.
me, wander a little bit.
Right,
So
right.
whether it's like nobody's down to go, like I'm gonna go explore myself. Let me put my headphones in. We just gonna let me get a soundtrack popping off. We gonna walk around.
Right, right. Okay, cool. So yeah, if y'all ever never been to Nashville, definitely got some good country music, live country music, good energy, good positive vibes. Check it out if you're not into that type of stuff. When in Rome, you know what I mean? Just go ahead and try it out. Of course, got good barbecue. I'm sure you probably heard about that. And then
Yep.
one more state. Let's hit one more state before we start going across the pond.
Um, let me see. Let me see. I what about Omaha, Nebraska?
Vámonos. Let's do that. That's different. Let's go to Omaha. Vámonos. Let's do it.
I like Omaha is cool. It's more laid back than the previous cities that I talked about. It is one of the more low key spots, but they do still have like the food there is still good. Surprisingly, because I was like, Nebraska. I think like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to
Right,
put some more
right.
salt. I'm gonna have to doctor this up myself. But the
Yep.
food was still decent. The people are still nice, and there was definitely a lot to do.
Oh,
Like I
really?
was
Like
able
what?
like I was able to walk around. They have the little lime scooters, the little limes and the birds. So you can you could scooter around and kind of see all about downtown. I was like, they had a cool little museum that I went and visited. Like I was like, there were things to do in Omaha that I was surprised because I thought that was going to be a place where I was just gonna have to keep it posted up in the hotel because there wasn't going to be much around. But yeah, going out
Right,
there,
right,
like I
right.
said,
Yeah,
there was some
that's
trouble to
what's
get
up.
into.
If you're looking for some trouble, Omaha, Nebraska, who would have known? Uh, l- so okay, it was fun. We explored the United States a little bit. So go ahead. Before we get to Brazil, we still got a little ways, got a little time. So let's go to another. Let's go to a country. What country you taking to us first? Taking us first.
I was like, I've been a little bit of everywhere. I went to Thailand and then I went to China because actually, let me like a little backstory. The seven wonders of the world are on my bucket list. So I'm trying to, knock them out when I can.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did. I went to China so I could see the Great Wall, and the Great Wall, beautiful, like
Dope.
such a great view, like everything. But it is still like super old. Like it's not like they haven't even like redone any parts of it. So make sure you watch a step. If you do go, watch a step. And
Oh, okay.
the particular part of the wall, because you can go and you can visit different parts of the Great Wall. And there is one part in
Right.
particular that is more touristy. And I didn't go to that part. I forgot. I can actually look up where I actually went because it was a different part of the wall. And basically, they you kind of rode like a lift up. Then you got to the wall. You got to see it. You could still hike in within it and like move and things like that. But then at the end, you got to ride a toboggan down.
What is it?
So
So explain what that is for the folks who don't know a toboggan, whatever that is.
a toboggan, it's like a sled that's on a slide. And you basically get to slide on down the Great Wall
Mm,
from how high up it is. And it
wow.
it actually goes pretty fast. Like I'm picking up some speed a little bit. I just braked a little bit. I'm like, ooh, ooh.
Little ride, huh? It's a little ride. I
Uh-huh.
like that.
Yeah, it was super
Cool.
fun.
So
But the only
what
thing
about what
the
about the like go ahead. Yeah, go my bad. Go ahead.
I was like, but the only thing about China is like when I was over there,
Mhm.
they were not really familiar with black people in particular. So like I
Oh.
had a lot of people like who were staring at me. I had a lot of them like like I almost felt like a celebrity here. Like how we treat celebrities here is how
Ooh.
I was being treated out there. Like
Uh-huh.
people was trying to take pictures of me on the low. Like I had some people just like straight out hand me babies and was like picture a picture. Like and I was like, oh okay, with this baby, okay, I'm sure. Like it like it was like that. Like I went to a
Uh,
museum and I had more people looking at me than the art. Like I was just like it was weird.
You should do that. That's gonna cost.
No, we started. We was like, look,
Uh,
I'm gonna start charging for these pictures. Like, I gotta get on this bus to go back to the hotel. Like, you gonna pay the bus fare? Okay, bet.
That's what's up. That's funny. That's funny. What about the food?
The food was actually really good. It was like it wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
your Panda Express. Like if that's what you were expecting when you go to China, nah. But the food
Authentic.
was still really good. It was really good. I
Hmm.
had rice. The fried rice was really good. I had a couple different types of chicken, but as
Hmm.
far as the seafood goes, everything still had its head on. So I don't know. It feels weird to me when I have to look you in your eyes if I'm gonna eat
Right.
it. but that but
That's
that's just
funny.
me. Like if that's what you into, I don't judge. Do you?
Right,
and
right,
and
right.
and at least that's how you know that it's fresh. But I was like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I personally couldn't get on board with that.
So, what about the hotel? Do you recall what hotel you stayed in?
Um, I do not. But like I said, if you want, I could send you all of these things after the fact if you wanted to try and include them.
Oh yeah, of course. That's fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you want to send like any videos, and matter of fact, of Brazil. Once we get to Brazil, we can definitely do something like that. But all right, cool. So China, if y'all want to go to China, see the Great Wall, definitely do that. Watch your step. If you into to the to the Asian cuisine, that's a place for you. And then there's things to do. There's things to do. And if you black, well, you might be treated like a celebrity or something. Who knows? Yeah, people, you may get a lot of attention.
They
So
gonna try and touch your hair. They gonna try and touch your hair. I'm gonna tell you
ooh,
that.
ooh, and you know how we feel about that.
I
Um,
mm-hmm.
so uh let's go ahead. All right, so China was cool, China was fun. What other country would you like to take us to?
Outside of China, I've been to I would say like Barcelona. I have a friend who lives there. Um, and it was great the first time because I've been there a couple times. The first time that I went, we like hit up all the touristy things. Like I saw the Arc de
Mhm.
Triomphe. We went to it's called Park Güell, which is where the Cheetah Girls. I don't know if any of y'all saw Cheetah Girls when they went to Spain, but they did a whole singing number there. And it's got a
Right, right, right.
gorgeous view, gorgeous view. I like the water is definitely it's more blue than it is here for sure. But the water
Mm-hmm.
was warm. It was nice when we went to the beach. Like I definitely recommend it.
Right.
As far as food goes, they're known for more of like their tapas. So like you go in and order
Okay.
tapas and you just get like a bunch. It's almost like a buffet type of thing where they've got all these things that are just like there ready for you to grab on, and it's a variety of things. They have like different meats. They have if you're like a vegetarian, vegan, they've got like more vegetable options. Like
Hmm.
it was dope. And the
Hmm.
nightlife there
Did you happen
is
to go
good
to?
too. What were
Yeah,
you
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. Okay. What kind of music do they? What kind of music do they do at the nightlife?
And all of the clubs there, they do a mix because they
Hmm.
know that they have a mixture of people there. Because even when I was
Hmm.
there, like I was dancing, and one dude was Spanish, then the next dude I met, he was from Norway, he was Norwegian, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm here for vacay." Yes, I was like, "Oh, well, at least you speak
Uh-huh.
English, cool." um,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
so they play a mixture of music. They play like top 40. They play some Spanish music. They played some mostly like house or like techno-y type of music. It was like a happy mix that was going on throughout the evening.
Cool, cool. Yeah, Barcelona's very touristy city in Spain. Did you happen to go to any other outside cities other than Barcelona by chance while you was in Spain?
Unfortunately, I did not. I keep telling myself I need to go back. That way I could go to like Madrid, or like I really want to go to it's an island, it's called Seville, I want to say. And I hear it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely try that out. I think it yeah, I've been when I was in Spain, I was in Barcelona in a little small town. It's called Orihuela. So it's a little
Hmm.
nothing. It's not one of the touristy places. I can tell you that. It's definitely a local city where you definitely got to learn Spanish and whatnot to get around. As far as the language in Barcelona, was it easy to get around with English, or did you have to know a little bit of Spanish, or what's going on with that?
It was easy to get around with English, but it's helpful if you know Spanish. And it also depends on what part of Barcelona you go to, because some parts they speak Catalan, which is the
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't know if you know the background history of Barcelona, but that Catalan is like the basically almost like the native language, where they
Mm-hmm.
like, so some people still hold on to that as well. And there are certain like areas in Barcelona that like are primarily Catalan versus
Mm-hmm.
speaking just Spanish.
Right, right, right. So now Spain was good, cool. We like Spain. Spain got good tapas. We also tried some vino as well. We snuck some
Oh, of
vino in
course.
there as well. Had to have some vino,
Got
and
to.
then got a good, yeah, good nightlife. So Barcelona's that all around touristy place. If you guys are into the tourist, I like it all. Tourist, local stuff, all of it is good to me. It's all different types of style of travel. So if you're into that type of stuff, definitely hit up Barcelona, Spain. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And then before we hit Brazil, let's go to one more country that you would like to a country that's not so popular that you think people may get a kick out of.
Um, have you heard much about Costa Rica?
No, not too. Let's talk about. Let's go to Costa Rica. What's going on in Costa Rica?
I was like, Costa Rica had the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen. I'm gonna tell you
Mm.
that right now. I like most beautiful sunset I've ever seen. Water was super clear.
Mhm.
And that was the beach that I went to was called Tamarendo. And
Mhm.
it they and the nightlife in that particular city was weird because it was like super lit on Friday, but then on Saturday, dead. Like
That's
I don't know
strange.
where everybody went. Like I don't know what happened, but like it was super lit one night, boom, dead the next one. We was like, okay.
Uh,
But I would almost kind of equate it to like a Pacific Beach in San Diego, how like it gets super lit, cracking. It was like that
mhm.
on, like I said, but on the right night.
Right, 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 right.
And a lot of people there spoke English, so like I know a little bit of Spanish and wasn't like I would translate every now and then if it was a problem, but for the
Right.
most part, I was able to get around with just English.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, I also we went a little more inland to a
Okay.
city called La Fortuna,
Oh, that's different.
and and it's called La Fortuna, which means the fortunate, because
Mhm.
it's next to a volcano, and the volcano is
Mm.
dormant now, but the volcano had erupted, and that city was still left intact, which is why they call it La Fortuna, because they're fortunate because the volcano
Mm.
went up and the city still remained. But while I was there, we did a hike up the volcano and were able to see some of the volcanic rocks that were still there because you could see like where the magma had come down.
Mhm.
I did white water rafting, which is super fun. I recommend it definitely.
Yes, on my bucket
They
list.
they've got natural hot springs that we went to. So and that was
Mhm.
super fun, super nice. And I'll also say in Costa Rica, it has some of the best fruit I've ever had. Like the pineapple was super sweet, the watermelon super sweet, all of that, like some of the best fruit.
Yeah, yeah. So if you like fruit, Costa Rica may be a place for you. So definitely, I do like pineapple. Pineapple is my favorite. So yeah, and I've been to Costa Rica. I agree with you 100%. They have great fruit there. And if you guys want to do some, hike up a volcano, a dormant volcano while you're in Costa Rica, definitely do that. And then you can hit nice sunsets. You said sunsets or sunrise? Which one?
Sunset.
See, yeah, and then hit your nice little sunset. Enjoy the rest of your evening. What about the food? What did they eat over there?
Um, In my opinion, the food over there was just basic. I didn't really have any food that was nothing I needed to write home about,
Okay.
if I'm being
Okay. Gotcha.
honest.
Gotcha. Gotcha. No, no, no. Please, please, because I agree. I do agree. Costa Rica wasn't like foodie spot. But far as nature, it's definitely a nice scenic place. You can definitely enjoy yourself. You got some activities to do like white water rafting, much recommended.
Hmm.
So definitely do something like that. And you know what? Costa Rica was pretty fun, but now we are officially landed in Brazil. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Jay, we are finally here. We're off the plane, stretching our legs. We're ready to hit the ground running.
Ooh,
So, what do you
ooh, ooh.
recommend us to do first?
When I was in Brazil, the first thing I did was, because like I said, the beach is my happy place. That's the first place I went to. I went to
Mm-hmm.
Copacabana beach, and it was a nice little beach area actually. There was plenty of there was actually some good food along the way, like right there next to the beach, and they had a lot of like vendors, kind of like open market type of thing where everybody was whipping out their carts and everything was kind of negotiable. The dollar really stretches in Brazil. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
looking for some place to make the dollar stretch, Brazil is a good spot to try and make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the only thing that I will say is that like I speak a little bit of Spanish and they speak Portuguese.
Mm-hmm. It's
So like
different.
I had a language barrier trying to like talk to people. I definitely had to be more reliant on my Google Translator than I
Mm-hmm.
have been in any of the other countries, because normally I can get around speaking English or like speaking a little bit of Spanish and people will understand. Nah, they was
Mm-hmm.
like they spoke Portuguese and they was looking at me like
Wow. Yeah.
yeah. Um
S-
no, go ahead.
so you telling me that because I know I haven't been to Brazil, so this is new for me. So I'm getting school right now. Definitely, I'm taking notes. So I hear that Spanish and Portuguese is similar. I don't know if they can really understand each other like that, but that's one thing. But far as English, what they don't what area, what city were you in Brazil?
I was kind of a little bit of everywhere in Brazil. I was, like I said, I was
Uh-huh.
staying. I had an Airbnb that was next to the beach because I was, and I. This is
Mm-hmm.
the first trip that I went by myself. I went solo,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
so
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
there were some areas that were a little sketch that I didn't feel safe to go to by myself. And like, but the
Mm-hmm.
area that was next to the beach was more touristy. So
Mm-hmm.
so it was a little easier for me to walk around. It did feel a little safer because there were lights everywhere. There were more people walking around. Like I actually
Mm-hmm.
did run into other people on vacation that I ended up hanging out with. Like it was cool in that area. And because I was
Right.
staying in an
Right.
Airbnb, I also did like one of the excursions on Airbnb. That way, like they
Oh,
would come and
okay.
pick me up and I wouldn't have to worry about having to get from place to place. And
Mm.
and so I would recommend doing something like that also, because I did that day one and they kind of gave me like a brief overview, and I went and saw the big statue, because that's a seven wonder. I had to go check it off the list. Mm. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it was
Nice.
gorgeous, spectacular up there. But if you're gonna go to Brazil, I also recommend going to Sugarloaf. It's
Mm-hmm.
also something that's kind of well known in Brazil for you to go and do.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
large mountain, but like the view from the top, when I tell you
Amazing.
breathtaking,
Yep. Yep. I believe it.
and like I went up there kind of actually around sunset time, and like the sun, watching the sunset from up there was gorgeous. And like you could see
Mm-hmm.
the statue, like you could see the bay, you could see like basically the whole city, all the favelas, like and
Mm-hmm.
you could really see it all, and it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Right. So what about the food? What are they known for as far as their meals, their cuisines?
The cuisine there, it was I would say it was better than Costa Rica, but it was from what I had, it still wasn't like anything like major. Like when I talk about
Okay.
Brazil, notice like the food is not the first thing that I brought up. Even though like when I went to China, I was
Right.
like, ooh, yes, like this is not no Panda Express. This Chinese food hits. Like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so but that could have just been my experience because mind you, I was by myself. So it's not like I was going to a lot of places like that. I was like
Right.
kind of sticking to what was right around where I was staying. I wasn't venturing out too
Mm-hmm.
much. But they
Okay.
did have a
Okay.
lot of different options, I should say, as far as
Mm-hmm.
like
Now,
if you
is it cool for like vegetarians? Do vegetarians have options out there, or is they pretty much
yeah.
SOL? Okay.
I
Okay.
was like, no, no, no. They had options. There was definitely a lot. There was rice. There was different veggies, fruits, salad
Okay.
options. So like like anything that you wanted, you could kind of find out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
don't like it, even if you like a chicken finger type of person, I like to eat chicken fingers everywhere. Like you could find it.
Right. 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 Now, is Brazil where you were? Do you recall the city you were in by chance or no?
I was staying in Copacabana, which is by the beach.
That's that's the name of the city. Copacabana is the name. Okay, got
Yeah,
so
like
Copacabana.
that song.
Oh yeah, right. Copacabana. Okay, so yeah. So what was it like far as the weather out there? How was that? Is it hot and humid or is it pretty nice or how is it in your opinion?
um, it's it's a nice little mix because the first day
Mm-hmm.
I was there, it was actually raining. It was like
Mm-hmm.
drizzling a little bit, but then like the next few days that I was there, it was like sunny, nice, like 80 degrees. Like I was on the beach chilling every other day, like besides the first day when it was raining a little bit and it was a little
Right.
cloudy. And when did I go? I want to say that I went almost a year ago, like around this time frame, like a year
Okay.
ago.
Okay. Okay. And is it humid? Is it humid or is it pretty nice, like breezy? Is it like
It's
California or is it
it's
humid?
it's breezy. I was like, it's not like Atlanta or Florida where it's
Ooh.
like
Yeah.
nah, it
Yeah.
wasn't
Okay.
it
Good to
wasn't like
know.
that.
Good to know. I like that. I'm not a fan of humidity. I mean, I guess I can go visit it for a little bit, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm not a fan of the humidity. But that's just my personal opinion on that. So, do we need visas to go to Brazil?
Nope, no visa necessary.
Oh, cool. Kill them. That's what I like to hear. Now, how long was
Yeah.
that? I'm assuming you came. I don't know if you went from LA or came from LA or New York, but how long was that flight? About
It was about 7 hours, but I left from Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay. All right, cool. So that's not 7 hours, not bad at all. Do you recall
Mm-mm.
the airline by chance?
I flew Delta.
So what's your opinion about the different airline well, for Delta? How was that experience? How's the customer service? What's your experience on that?
Um, I think that as far as like customer service goes and everything, I think Delta is probably one of my favorites. Like,
Hmm.
um, but it kind of depends on what class you're sitting in,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, we got you.
um, because me being a flight attendant, I get like kind of whatever seats are left over. So
Hmm.
like if no most of the, like if nobody is sitting in first class and none of those seats have been taken up, like I get to get the whole first class treatment and I'm like, hey.
Nice,
And
nice.
I actually like it's called Polaris on United and that is spectacular.
Hmm.
They but like normally like they give you like your own little cubby. You can lay all the way down. Like you get food, you get drinks. Like I be getting off the plane like,
Turn up. What we getting next?
hey.
What's next? I like that. I like that a lot. So, as far as Brazil, what's the nightlife like out there?
The nightlife was actually very interesting because
Hmm.
out by the beach where I was staying, there
Hmm.
wasn't much going on to
Hmm.
do. But
Hmm.
if you moved more inland, I want to say the city's called like Santa Teresa, I want to say. But
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to double check on that.
Right.
But it is something. I think it's something to that effect. And Oh, fun fact, Brazil has Uber.
Oh, you must have read my mind. I was gonna like, what's the local transportation like? Do they have Uber? Is it a walk-in city? Is it taxis and trains? How do you get around?
No, I was like, I was Ubering, and
Okay.
I was like, because the exchange rate, because like I said,
Hmm.
the dollar stretches there. Like
Hmm.
I was Ubering hella far, and it only was cost me like $5. Like,
Ooh, ooh, that's
hmm
good to know. That's good to know. I like that.
yeah.
And
So I was like, so the Uber was the way to go for me
yeah,
personally.
uh-huh.
I mean,
Okay.
they do have other modes of transportation, like they do have like a metro or like a subway kind of thing that goes on, but
Hmm.
I didn't get on that, so I can't actually speak much on it, but it does
Hmm.
exist.
Right, right, right. Now, as far as where you're at, is it like West? Is it like Americanized, or what's the culture like there in Brazil? What's different there than it is here in America?
um it actually was a little bit more Americanized than I thought it was going to be, but it also could be because they're used to having a lot of tourists.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure like if you ventured out a little more or like deeper into, because like I personally, like I said, I was traveling alone, so I didn't like go into the favelas, which is like kind of like the ghettos or the slums there, to really
Mm-hmm.
explore and get that
Mm-hmm.
like home feel. I was kind of sticking to the touristy areas that I knew were going to be safer because I was by myself.
And that makes sense. So what type of what advice? Because there's a lot of, believe it or not, there's a lot of solo women travelers out there. So what advice could you give our ladies who are traveling solo, who are thinking about traveling solo or want to travel solo? What advice would you be able to give them?
The best advice that I could give was is to find a solid area that you're staying in and then kind of explore within that area. And then the best thing that I did was take that Airbnb, and it was like an excursion that took me all around the city that showed me a bunch of different areas. But I did that on like
Mm-hmm.
day three, and I kind of wish I would have done that day one, because
Mm-hmm.
after I did that, I was like, oh, it showed me this little city. Like, I wish I would have spent more time there or like been able to go back.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I
Mm-hmm.
would, if you are traveling solo, I do recommend doing something like that that gives you a broad overview. That way, you can see the different areas and places that you might want to spend more time.
Mm-hmm.
That way, you can kind of plan your trip a little bit better or accordingly.
Right, right. And that's a perfect travel tip for those folks out there. When you reach a country, the first thing, if you are on the tourist type of trip, the first thing you want to do is take a tour, a city tour, or wherever they can take you around the island and around the country, around the city. Let them tell you all the histories, the stories, the places to go and whatnot, because you're on a trip, so you're hitting them pretty fast. But after that first day, you'll know what you like and what you don't like and where you want to go and where you don't want to go. You be like, oh, I want to go back to that, that the Christ statue. I definitely want to go take some pictures, blah, 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 do that. Or so yeah, I definitely recommend that to do on the first day that you get there, or even the very next day if you get in kind of late. So that's great, a great travel tip out there for that. And then now, as far as the shopping, is there like a shopping scene, or what is yeah, is there anything like that in Brazil going on?
There is there like I said, they had a lot of like outdoor type of like what is not like farmers markets, but like they everybody pulled up with their cart. Like there were a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
different things that were available. It was like bathing suits, shirts, if you wanted like cool little knickknacks. Some
Mm-hmm.
of them had little like niche things where it was like, oh, if you want me to make you a bracelet and like embroider your name in it. Like they had a bunch of different things just like kind of along like this one street. But it wasn't just like this one street, because I saw things like that kind of in every part of Brazil that I went to.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a cool little shopping scene. I'm sure that they had malls and stuff like that, but I wasn't really interested in that. I was, trying to get that local-ish kind of feel. And
Right.
everything there is negotiable. So like they would be like, "Oh, it costs this much," and I'd be like, they'd be like,
Mhm.
"Okay, okay, this much." I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
"Okay, there you go.
Mhm.
Now we here."
Now, yeah, now we talking the same language. Now we talking. We communicate now. So, what was the alcoholic beverages like? Did you try any like the national beers and national drinks out there?
They had a lot of fruity drinks. So like drinks in that came in fruit
Mm.
that I thought was delicious. Like I had something that came in a pineapple. I had something else that came in a coconut, and it was yeah, like I said, everything was relatively reasonable. Like it was, and they were good. They weren't the strongest drinks. So like if fitness
Mhm.
is your goal, you're gonna have to get a couple of them
Mhm.
pineapples.
Right.
But
Right.
but they were
Right.
tasty as I was like chilling on the beach.
Right. Right. And just to go back to that excursion through Airbnb, do you recall how much that was about more or less so folks can have an idea of what to expect?
It wasn't too bad. It was like $100 maybe tops.
Okay.
And
Okay.
with that came the excursion to the statue, and that was
Uh-huh.
entry into it. That
Right.
was they came and picked me up from where I was staying, and they was driving me around everywhere. And
Mhm.
we went um to, I want to say like 3 or 4 different places within
Mhm.
Brazil that they were
Mhm.
showing me around. And that's why I said like I wish I would have done it sooner, because like there were some areas like when we hung out and they were showing us, oh, like this, there's that. Like there were murals, they're like, and I was like, dang, like I want to come back here tomorrow. And I wasn't able to, because like I said, I did that later on in my trip versus having done it the first day. And
Uh,
but I think that
Jay,
it was worth it. What's up?
is it because I'm hearing background talking. Is it I don't know. Is
Uh,
there
Give me 1 second. Let me.
oh, okay, okay.
I was like, how's that? Is that better?
Yeah, cool. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. I was like, am I tripping or okay?
It's like
Now, okay, yeah. Now, far as what made you choose out of all, I believe there's like 195 countries in the world. So, what made you choose Brazil? Why Brazil?
um. Well, like I said, the 7 wonders are on my
Mm-hmm.
list. The
Mm-hmm.
statue is a wonder. And I've always heard just like great things about Brazil. People always are like, oh yeah, Rio de Janeiro, like let's get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I was just curious about what all the buzz was about.
Right,
So,
right.
but like I said, I mainly went because the statue is a wonder and the wonders are on my list. So,
Okay. Yep. That makes sense. Now, is there anything that you disliked about Brazil?
I would say that, like I said, the only thing that I disliked was the fact that they spoke Portuguese, and I don't. There was that
Mhm.
language barrier there, and it wasn't like how when you normally go to like a touristy area, like at least somebody will speak English. Like over there, like I said, I was relying heavily on my Google Translate because
Mhm.
I don't speak Portuguese, and they didn't understand me. So I'm like,
So you dislike the fact that they didn't speak your language in their country, huh?
yes. I was like, I need y'all to accommodate me, please.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna need y'all to. Everybody else speak English, so I'm gonna need Portuguese or Brazil. I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. Come on now, we come on. It's Americans now. I need y'all to speak that English. But it's funny because, but at least you speak because most English, most Americans only speak English. So it's good that you have two. Do you speak two or more? How many languages do you speak?
Just two, just English and Spanish, and
Well, that's good. Like for Americans, we don't speak more than just we don't speak more than English. So when you speak to in America and you American, you ahead of the game for us. But in other countries, they
mm,
speak 3 and 4 languages, and that's normal. So you ahead
yeah.
of the game. So much respect on that. Do you want to learn Portuguese or any other languages out of curiosity?
I do want to learn not Portuguese. I want to learn French. That's the next
Mm-hmm.
one that I'm gonna try and dabble in a little bit, because
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Paris, and there it was a lot that I didn't understand, and I was like, don't get me wrong, some of them were able to speak English, and
Mm-hmm.
I actually think it was funny because we were kind of lost, so I stopped the
Mm-hmm.
woman and I was like, "Do you speak English?" She was like, "No." She was like, no, 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 but she was like, "I speak Spanish," and like she was able to help me because we were both, and I was in France, and we were both speaking Spanish to each other.
And that's good. See, there you go. There you go. That's how you get it. And that's happened to me before too. Like we in a different country. They don't speak English or that native tongue, but we speak a similar language. So that's it's good to learn more than one language. That's for sure. Okay. Now let me see. There was something else I wanted to talk about as far as Brazil. Is there anything that you would do differently if you was back in Brazil? Now that we're here.
Actually, yes. Since I was in Brazil, like on my last day that I was
Mhm,
there, I saw people and they were hang
mhm.
gliding off this huge kind of like mountain on like and they landed onto the beach.
Oh,
And like I'm the adventurous type.
oh.
And so like if I go back, that's one thing that I wish I would have done while I was there. And that's something that I definitely want to do the next time that I do go. Cause it looks so fun. Like I've been
Mhm.
skydiving before. So I was like I've been parasailing. Like I like to do that kind of stuff. So like when I saw that there, I was like,
Right.
ooh, I wish I would have done that.
Yeah. So you can go what is it? Paragliding? What is it? Paragliding? And is that what it's
hang
called?
gliding.
Hang gliding. That's what. Okay, hang glide. Yeah, you can go hang. See, that's on my bucket list too. So, if I'm in Brazil, I think I'm gonna have to look that up. Hang gliding for sure, for sure. So, if y'all, it sounds like Brazil is a place for us to go. Definitely, definitely. So, we're gonna have to start wrapping it up. We're about to hit some souvenir shops, some gift shops, real quick. But any last thing before we head back home? Any last thing about Brazil that we didn't cover that you would like to talk about real quick?
Um, I think that we got it all. The people there, like, because like I said, I was there and I was a typical American who didn't speak the language, hoping people were speaking English. And the people, and I will give them credit because they were really trying to help me. Like they were really trying to work with me and help me. So
Hmm.
the people there were very friendly and accommodating. There's plenty to see. I
Hmm.
was there for a short amount of time. I want to say I was only there for like 4 days.
Oh, snaps! Too short.
Yeah. So like I like when I tell you I was like moving,
Hmm.
like I was on the go every day. I was trying to get something else in.
Right.
So I would say like give yourself enough time to really enjoy it
Mhm,
because I
mhm,
felt like I got like that jam packed version
mhm,
when I
mhm,
really would have like I said, I would like to have gone back and spent more time in different areas of
mhm.
Brazil. And I didn't have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, I hear you. So, how many days or weeks do you recommend folks to go experience Brazil for?
I would say at least a week. In a week,
Minimum.
you should be able, a minimum, for you to
Mhm,
be able to get it all in, like
mhm,
hang out at the beach, like go and explore a favela, like go and see the statue, go to Sugarloaf, like go do all these different things. And it requires, like I said, it requires some time.
mhm.
I did the jam packed short version, and I wish I would have had a little bit more time.
Right, right. Now, is everything kind of like close together, or everything spread out where you got to travel a little bit to get to different places?
You do have to travel a little bit. And that's
Mhm,
why I said I was really grateful for the Airbnb excursion that I went on because they did provide that mode of transportation for me. It was included in the price versus me having
mhm,
to kind of try and plan out my day and then Uber from place to place,
mhm. Yep,
even though
yep.
the
So
Ubers
yeah.
were there and accessible. Yeah.
Right. So it's cool. So if you in Brazil, you definitely got to hit the beach, Copacabana. You definitely got to try out the hang gliding. If you go to the statue. What is it? The Christ statue. I was about to call it the Statue of Liberty,
Mhm.
but call it Statue of Christ. Definitely want to try that out. And then if you're in Airbnb, they got some excursions for you as well. So if you're a single lady traveling, or even a fella, definitely try out the Airbnb excursions and whatnot. It's easy to get around. You got your Ubers out there for you Americans out there, and sound like Brazil is definitely on my list. So I'm definitely gonna hit Brazil up for sure, for sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do have to catch this flight back home, hit this home airport, but we do have one last segment for you, Jade. I'm gonna ask you a list of questions, and you're gonna answer them as quickly as possible. So quick, 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 quick.
Ooh,
All right.
all right.
And then you can use one word answers. So no sentences, no long drawn out backstories, just quick, 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 quick. So let me
Okay.
go ahead and get ready for you. So I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Let's get it. So, question number one: what is your favorite airline?
Delta.
What is your favorite hotel?
Ooh. I guess Hilton hotels, the chain. They got a different
Mm-hmm.
bunch of them underneath them. That's just a safe
Right.
bet.
Right. What is your favorite cruise line?
I've only ever done a cruise on Carnival.
What is your favorite state?
Uh, California, nothing's better than home.
What is your favorite country?
Thailand.
What is your favorite hotel or hostel booking site?
Airbnb.
What is your favorite flight booking site?
Um, I pass. I was like, I book flights differently, so
Gotcha. What is one thing that Jade must bring on all her trips?
headphones.
Good one. Where do you want to go next?
Peru.
What other state that you haven't lived in already would you move to?
Um, I Louisiana. I'd move to New Orleans.
What other country would you live in?
Barcelona.
Now, last question. What is your favorite travel podcast?
The Global Travel Podcast.
Great answer. Great answer. That's what's up. Much appreciated, Jay. Thank you for stopping by and showing us some love. We do appreciate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Of
Uh,
course.
yeah,
Thank
cool.
you for having me.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. Thank you, thank you. So, to all my travelers out there, my listeners, my viewers, you know what time of day it is. We are now descending, so I need you guys back into your seats, buckle up, trays up, and seats in an upright position. But before we land, Miss Jade, if you can do us one last favor, if you can give us one last piece of travel advice, what would that be?
Don't overpack.
Ladies.
I used to be guilty of this. I used to pack a hell of stuff in my suitcase that I never even actually wore. I was like, just keep it simple.
Keep it simple. I love it. Kiss, keep it simple. Yeah, so you know what, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for flying here with us at the Global Travel Podcast. We are now landed. You can unbuckle your seatbelts, grab your belongings, and exit the cabin. With that being said, see you guys on the next trip. If you would like to be a guest on our show and tell us about your travel experiences, then leave us a comment in the comment section below so we can reach out to you. Also, if you have any countries, states, or cities that you'd like us to review, please let us know so we can plan a trip there. Lastly, if you got some good value today and liked our podcast, please hit the like button and click subscribe so you can travel with us again next time. So subscribe right now because you don't want to miss the next trip. With that being said, over and out.